Trying to show you how much this plastic makes a difference. Let me see right here. 58, 59 degrees. The plastic's not even closed off. That's not even closed off. That's just nothing's taped up. Makes a huge difference. Okay, so we live in a 1910 Chicago bungalow. These are the original windows in the Chicago bungalow. If you see right here, even on windy days, you get a draft from right here because it's so loose, and you get a draft from right here. So like normal people, we cover these windows with plastic. Little by little, we have been going ahead and having all the windows replaced. The windows themselves are about $250, plus you have to have them installed. Now they inset the new vinyl windows inside the other frames. Zero draft, zero movement, zero draft, zero movement. I mean, the wind. This itself is still a little bit cool to the touch. Nowhere near the older windows. You touch in here, it's maybe a 5-degree difference from the room. Over there, it's about a 20-degree, 30-degree difference from the room. Even when I put the blinds up over here, these blinds are warm, those blinds are cold. Now, I'm going to show you how to put the plastic up over there, but this one right here, we know this is a side of the window we don't ever really use. The plastic just stays on the window all the time, and it stops you from the heat loss. And with the cost of the bills going up right now, heat loss is insane. What these bills are going to are insane. So this right here is going to get wiped down. This whole frame, I'm doing all 3 windows at once. This whole frame is going to be wiped down with a microfiber because it'll stick better. Okay, I'm using 8x25 exterior high clarity poly film. Why I'm using it on the interior is because the tape is going to stick better. Everything's going to stick better on the inside. So I'm wrapping this whole frame. So you have to have your blinds where you're going to need them, because you're not going to be able to use your blinds, but we still can use our room darkening curtains. So to do that, where it holds the curtains up, the curtain rod up, you have to kind of cut a hole in the plastic and start from the top in the middle, go out to the side, and come down. I'll show you how. Now I use polyfilm scissors. This is the hair dryer because you have to heat the wood. You have to heat the wood if it's too cold or the tape won't stick. And I always buy a really good tape, like a duct tape or a Gorilla tape, or really good tape. Don't try with dollar store tape, you're going to be frustrated. Let me put you on the stand and we'll go from there. Now, seeing either way it goes, I'm covering all 3 windows. It's going to be a really tight air fit in all 3 windows. I don't even know if you see me, I'm so high. But you're going to have your blinds exactly where you're going to want them all the time now, because you're not going to have access to these with your blinds. So this is how you're going to be able to close your blinds with your curtains to cover your blinds during the day or open them up. I got to take the curtain rod down because the plastic starts in the center, and the curtain rod holders have to be on this side of the plastic, so you got to tape all the way around those. Now, seeing that's a 25-foot roll, I'm measuring the length of the windows. It's 102 inches. See, it's about 101 inches, but I'm going to cut it at about 110 inches to give me some extra room to play with. One of them is going to be lined up perfect when I tape it down, and the other I'm going to trim off the excess edge. But if you got all 25 feet up here to try to work with it, it's going to be a lot harder. So get it cut down to what you need. Measure twice, cut once. So, work with me here, work with me here, work with me here. That's actually 101 inches. I'm going to cut it at about 105. So here's 9 feet right here. It's easier to cut it like this to get a straight cut than to try to open it all the way up and get it cut. So that's why I cut it like this before I put it on the window. And if you have a razor blade where your final cut, it'll be a lot easier. Okay, so I know I gave myself extra inches on both sides. So, and this right here is a high quality. This is the exterior, this is the 4 mil. So it's a lot stronger than the plastic indoor stuff. It's high clarity. So I know I gave myself extra, and I know I got the curtain rods up there that are gonna go in between. So the cool thing is, I can actually have the curtain rod holders hold this up for me right now while I tape some in. I'm just gonna measure where these curtain rod holders are. How high I'm gonna want it. Give yourself some little, the top I'm not gonna give the extra room. The bottom I'll cut off. Okay, so figure out where your hole's gonna be. You know me, I always got my belt knife. So the curtain rod holder is gonna do me a solid and hold this up for me right now. See, that's gonna do me a solid to hold it up for me. And then I'm gonna go to my next curtain rod holder. Get my belt knife, make a hole right there. And that right there is perfect. Well, right now, since I'm here, up here, I'm gonna tape this up. Please do this at your own risk. Don't tell me, he told me to stand on a radiator, he told me to stand on a ladder. Be careful when you're doing this, okay? And if you just do a little piece to hold this, it doesn't matter. Overlap it with another piece of tape. I wiped this all down with a microfiber cloth already, so the tape should be able to stick. Now this feels warm enough where I shouldn't have to heat it with a hair dryer, so I should be okay with that. And you do half on the plastic, half on the wood. Okay, now here is one thing. When you do peel it off, you may have some discoloration in the wood. And I'll be honest, completely honest with you with that. When you pull it off, you may have some discoloration on that wood because you got tape sitting on it. You're gonna have to get some goo gob or whatever to clean it off. 30 years I've been doing this and I haven't had any problem with the wood, but I do not want to say you're not gonna have. 30 years I haven't had problem with the wood. Now, the heat bills went extremely high this year, so that's why I'm actually showing you how to do this, because I've had somebody ask me about doing this to their windows. Okay, so that's that's good right there. That's solid, that's good. You rub it in. I'm not even gonna have to come back and visit that, just the corner over there where the curtain rod holder is. Okay, so I'm gonna push this all the way up, and since I'm right here, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I do this curtain rod holder right here really good, so when I come back, so I don't have to come back to it while I keep stretching it all the way along. Okay, now the top is all done. It's as straight as it can be. I got a box cutter, but you gotta be light. I'm not gonna do it on the wood, or maybe a little bit on the wood, but I'm gonna come down in the middle of this board right here. I didn't mean to do it with that finger. I'm going to come down in the middle of the board right here because I want the tape to be able to get half on the plastic, half on the board. So you gotta give yourself a shape at the top. Now I have all the plastic as straight down as possible. I have all the plastic laying as straight as possible on both sides, because now my next thing after the top, I'm going to make sure I get around the top of that corner really good and then do all the way around the sides. Alright, now this tape right here is ready to be on this. It's as straight as possible. This is the next side I'm going to do. Then I'm going to do that side over there. Thank you, my honey found me a new box of razor blades.
I don't know if those go in there.
Now that side is completely straight down. I didn't finish the bottom part because I still got to cut the bottom part, but you see the plastic breathing already with the draft the window was creating. So with the razor blades, what we're going to do is do another thing, exact same line on this side over here. Alright. I'm going to come on the other side of the curtain rod holder and start right there. and then come back to the middle of the wood so I can get a good piece of tape on the wood. Hold it as straight as I can, and then come right down the wood so I get a good piece of tape on the wood. Now when I get down to the bottom, see me fall? When I get down to the bottom, I'm going to come out towards the end of the bottom sill and go just cut it off that way because I got to figure out the bottom part of it. Okay, so with the bottom part right here, I want the tape to hold on to the bottom lip. I already wiped it down. So I'm going to cut along the bottom edge of this. This is all down, it's taped all around. I'm going to cut on the bottom edge of this right here so the tape can put on the plastic and attach to the bottom of this. Now one of the hard things is the corners. I don't know if I can get you in, but on these corners, you got to cut these and try to get enough tape on these corners that you're not losing air right here. So, I mean, you can kind of figure it out. Your cut you're going to have to get on this one right here. Keep it pushed back when you're doing the cut so there's no extra pieces, and then tape 5 pieces of tape as much as you can to make sure you seal all that. Now since I'm right-handed, I went from right to left instead of left to right because the cut was easier for me. But it's right on the bottom lip, so the tape could go over this whole thing right here and pull it tight. And if you put your hand right here, you can still feel that cold draft. I don't know if you can see the difference right there. It's right above the radiator right there, but it's holding all the air in right now. You even go up higher right than that, it's still 62, and that's taking the temperature on the wood. It can't see the plastic right here. Now if you also see the plastic's bubbled out. I mean, it has a good seal. This is a solid air bubble that's keeping all the heat in the room now. 75, 73, 72, 69, 68. It is worth, the plastic was $8.99 and the tape say was $3, $4, and the razor blades is what it takes, and it's going to keep all this heat in your house from escaping. That's an air bubble. That's a solid air bubble right here of heat that used to be able to escape but can't no more.